And welcome to Jerry's Beer Reviews. Now it's summer solstice, it's midsummer, it's basically the time that every Finnish person, well, most of them anyway, are drinking, maybe having random sex and whatnot. And me, I'm at home, just enjoyed a couple of episodes at Netflix, watching The Crown with my wife. And now I'm just, doing a YouTube video about beer, because wife went to bed, and for me it's time to play a little PlayStation and do a video about beer. I guess I'm a little sick in that sense, or maybe I'm just, a responsible family guy. But nevertheless, here I'm talking about beers once again. Now, those of you who watched my previous video, maybe like one person, know already that I got the Brewdog Fanzine box number 4 and 5 like within one day of each other, and now it's time to review the number 4. The box is already thrown away, but I saved the cans to just show you what have you missed, what I was drinking, and why it's so goddamn good to have these beers over here in Finland and other countries as well. So, the box number 4 featured Brewdog Interstate, a Vienna type of lager, kind of a mild, 4.6. Brewdog Hop Shop, a double India Pale Ale with 9% strong. And small batch English IPA, a retro India Pale Ale with 5.2 strength. Now, my original guess was that my least favorite of this box would be the lager, because like I said in that video, I'm not a big fan of lager beers. Usually way too tasteless, way too boring, way too just, waste of my time considering beer drinking. But I was kind of positively surprised. Well, Interstate takes the number 3 spot, the bronze medal for this batch of beers, but it was kind of tasty actually. I went to sauna to have it with me, as with lager beers are best for usually, or doing outside work in the summertime when you're sweating like hell. But Vienna lager actually showed more taste than a typical lager, well, which is no surprise considering what Brewdog usually does with lager beers and other nuts. And gotta say, even though I wouldn't rate it very high, I could say that it's definitely easy 3 out of 5 stars beer, maybe even more, but definitely way better than most lager beers there are out there, because way more taste and kind of personality in a way that usually it's not very common in lager beers. So maybe not something that I would definitely taste another time, because usually when you get craft beers sale, at bar or whatever, usually you get other choices, tend to, check out lagers. But if there are a selection of lagers and I'm like, okay, it's Heineken, it's Carlsberg, hey, there's Vienna lager, definitely I would go for this one. So if you're a lager fan, give this one a taste. It's definitely better than your average lager. Maybe it might have even too much taste for your lager friendliness, fanatism. My second guess was, the silver medal thingy was this small batch English IPA, which, like it says, it's a retro India Pale Ale. And my guess was that because this was kind of retro stuff, this would make it kind of an old school way. The IBUs are quite moderate, being at 40 and just 5.2, which is kind of regular stuff. So I was expecting some kind of a mild India Pale Ale, something like nice taste, but kind of a forgettable. But on the contrary, this was very nice, very mature taste, and not very strong or assaulting taste, kind of a more like this kind of a, how to put it, this kind of a strong flavor but not too strong, kind of like a person. You think that it's gonna be boring with its topic and all that stuff, but it's actually quite verbal and able to say like what he or she thinks about the world and topic you're talking about, and eventually like, hey, this is totally different that way expectations would have been letting me think. And so this small batch English IPA probably ends up or ended up being the number one in this batch. Maybe just by a nudge, but I totally loved it. Definitely something that I would love to taste and buy another time, because I was expecting just quite nice, maybe 4 out of 5, but it turned out to be a 5 out of 4, 5 out of 5 star IPA. Really fresh, but still lots of personality with the taste, and what a brilliant beer all in all. Now, it's really hard to beat this one, because those of you who know Brewdog's way of doing really badass IPAs, like double IPAs and whatnot, like hardcore IPA, which is one of my all-time favorites in a way, know that, it becomes no surprise that when they go for double IPA or any strong IPA, they are just skilled in what they do. So I had high expectations for this one, and it didn't let me down. Now the thing is, I'm not actually kind of decided after one can of beer whether this or the retro pale ale, India pale ale, is actually better, because in my opinion I could go for either of these two, because these are just awesome beers. 5 out of 5 easily. And the thing is, this is almost twice as strong as this one. So if you're just, thirst quenching, but you want personality, you want that kind of a hoppy taste with your beer, this one is the safe bet. Whereas this is kind of a next to wine to get you a little bit tipsy. And if you have a few of these, you will just get drunk. So in that sense, my weight goes to this one. This would be the gold medal stuff here. But sometimes, the strength of a beer goes in hand with the taste, which is often tied to hoppiness. So this is kind of the safe bet if you're uncertain which way to go. Now, some of my favorite Brewdog beers also include the Dead Pony Club California Pale Ale, which is only 3.2 or 3.44, and that is also a great beer. Even though it's very lightweight, it's easy on alcohol, but the taste is just great, and it's so fresh. It's one of my all-time favorites with Punk IPA. And since kind of Dead Pony Club Punk IPA with its 5-something%, and then Hardcore IPA, they kind of form a line, kind of a logic line. And usually it's more safer to just go with Dead Pony Clubs and Punks rather than Hardcore IPAs. So the question is pretty much the same as with Punk IPA and Hardcore IPA as it is with these two. Like, would I go with the lightweighter, or would I be doing the safe bet with ass-kicking alcoholicness and hoppiness? So I don't know. If you have only time and money for one, and you're not driving, obviously, because we don't do that drunken driving thing, then you can easily go for the Hop Shop. It's just awesome beer. But if on the other hand you could go with 2 lightweighters rather than 1 heavyweighter, maybe then the English small batch English IPA would be kind of a safe bet. Doesn't knock you out, but gives you the sweet pleasure. So in this kind of company, what chance would this Vienna lager have in the first place? None whatsoever. Great as a lager, but when you company with cool guys, you're just bound to lose. That's how it goes. So batch number 4 of Brewdog Fanzines might be my favorite so far. I've already unboxed the number 5, but they are in cold place outside because Finnish summer is cold. So they are waiting for another day to be drunk. I don't want to waste them today because I'm already in a good place with these 3 babies. So more reviews coming up soon about beers, so stay tuned or whatever. And always drink responsibility with responsibility. See ya. Adios, amigos. Bye.